11 more games have been announced for the Mega Drive Mini 2. They also announced a release date, October 27th in Japan. No word on a US release yet. I wouldn't hold my breath. They announced a price. It's gonna sell for about $100. And they also announced they're making this Cyber Stick that will be available that you can play with the Mega Drive Mini 2. This Cyber Stick by itself sells for about $200. Yeah, more than the console itself. Yeah, pretty neat. A few more Genesis titles gonna be on this machine. Some of them you may never have heard of. A couple more Sega CD games, and a surprise game. Interesting. The arcade classic Outrun is going to be available on the Mega Drive Mini 2. Now, I loved Outrun in the arcade. We had this at our local Tiger Mart, which was a convenience store mini mart down the street from my house. And I would play this one any chance I could. Now, we didn't have the sit-down model, it was the stand-up version. But man, I still played this game. I loved this game quite a bit. See, I'm not very good at racing games, but this isn't really a racing game. This is more of a casual, well, not casual, but it's more of a driving game. It's a driving experience. Yes, there are other cars you gotta contend with. And the Genesis version, it plays okay. It just seemed like it's like a few steps down. It's suffering from that same kind of Space Harrier 2, not really choppy animation, but it just feels like it's missing frames of something. I wish it was running smoother, and the Genesis version was like this too, unfortunately. The arcade version is great, but yeah, you know what, this is probably the best experience we could have got at home for a game like this. Every once in a while, you'll come to a fork in the road, and you can decide which path you want to take. No matter where you go, you're going to get a fun, scenic drive out of this game. I mean, it is a Sega game on a Sega system, so no doubt they wouldn't include this. Loved the arcade version, didn't spend a whole lot of time with the Genesis version just because of that animation, but I'll still give this game a B. I think it's worth it. Same with Afterburner 2. I loved this intro. Afterburner, another all-time classic in the arcade. You're flying your, is it an F-14 Tomcat? Did I get that correct? Shoot the other planes out of the sky. You got your rockets that you can launch, and that'll take care of them a lot easier for you. Different stages kind of have the different themes to them. Different areas. Super fast moving. I love the fact that you could barrel roll in this game, like when you tap left then right or right then left. That was just kind of fun. A great way to avoid missiles and stuff like that. Another great game to have on this collection. I mean, why not? Afterburner 2, like Outrun, I'll also give it a B. Namco, or Namcot, as it is in Japan, has several offerings on this console already, including, Splatterhouse Part 2. Splatterhouse Part 2 makes this collection. That's awesome. Follow up to Splatterhouse, you just walk along and you beat up these monsters, and has that weird kind of oozy stuff that comes out of them, where you can smack them up against the wall. This game has always been a favorite by many. I think it's okay. I'm not as gung-ho about this game as most people are, but I get it, and I get the draw to this game. Giant bosses as well, too. Oof. gotta watch out for these guys. Oh, I love it. You defeat the boss and kind of spills out there, at least on the first stage anyway. Fun to see a game like Splatterhouse Part 2 will make a collection like this. And even though I didn't give it the most flattering overview, I am going to give this game an A because I love the fact that a game like this is coming to a console like this. Another game from Namco making this collection is based on an anime, a new license on this one, but it's also from Namco. It is Nadia, Secret of Blue Water. Loved this anime. Well, in Japan they call it Fushigi no Yumi no Nadia. And again, I was a huge fan of this show. I love the fact that the opening sequence on this game plays the music and even gives you like the lyrics, so you can do some karaoke if you'd like. Well, if you can read anyway. As much as I love the anime, as much as I am familiar with the anime, I am not familiar with this game. I already love how it looks and how it plays. They have this on the Famicom as well. And it looks to be similar to that Famicom version, just this one's on the Genesis. So it should be pretty cool, right? Well, I'm sure it is. It's all in Japanese. You walk around, you can like talk to people, and it gives you options that you can do other stuff too later on. I'm looking forward to playing this game. Again, I don't know if this would come out, if this system came out in the US. Would this be translated? I mean, probably not. If this came out in the US, they would probably replace this game with a different game, I'd have to assume. But you all know what happens when you assume, right? So, either way, Nadia's Secret of Blue Water, very cool they are including this on this collection. I just wish I knew how to play this game, wish I knew what I was doing. Wish it was in English. Give me that option. I can figure it out from there. This game gets a C from me because you're by the sea, right? Well, Megapan is a Namco game that you don't even need to have any English to do because it's a puzzle game. Specifically, a puzzle sliding game. You have that one spot, that one space, and depending on if you hit left, right, up, or down, or whatever, you'll slide whatever tile into that hole. 3 in a row is what makes them disappear. You can go up or down. You do have a button that can progress things faster for you, so you get more and more tiles, and you can, clear out a lot of them a lot faster, look for those combos and everything too. This is a Japanese exclusive. This one never came out in the US. However, it's a pretty fun game, and anybody can play this game. I think it's a lot of fun. There's another mode on here too, where the more you play and the more you remove these, blocks of 3, then it uncovers a picture. It uncovers, that's part of the puzzle, is that it uncovers these pictures here. And that's kind of fun too. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I've played this game before briefly, just looking for other games that maybe never came out in the US, so happy to see this one on the list. I kind of forgot about it for a little bit, but here it is again. Very, very cool. Fun puzzle game. I think it's unique enough. I'll give this game an A. Another import exclusive for the Sega Genesis, or the Mega Drive rather, is Puzzle and Action Ichidant R. Now, they did release this game on the Switch as part of their Sega Ages collection, and very cool to see this on the Mega Drive Mini too. Not too many familiar with this game in the US. If you haven't played it before, a little bit like a Mario Party, maybe plays a little bit closer to something like a Bishi Bashi Special, which is another import. That was like more for the PlayStation. And whatever it lands on, that's the mini game you're gonna do. Great 2-player game on this one. It's like a 2-player competitive, fun competitive. It's not like, drastically competitive or anything like that. Unfortunately, when I was capturing this footage, I landed on a puzzle that I believe kind of gives you hints on what tile to uncover in the text below, and unfortunately, it's text I'm not able to read. I can recognize a couple of those kanji, but yeah, it's a collection of mini games, collection of little mini puzzle games. Great for 2-player. It's okay on a 1-player, but it's best as a 2-player game. I may have to go back to this game on the Nintendo Switch just to remind myself how cool it is, because I remember I did like playing this game. I'll give this game a B. A puzzle game you may be more familiar with is Columns 3, making this collection. You take the idea of columns, you give it kind of a storyline in a way, at least an adventure mode where you can, progress and go on to the next stage. You have to battle these creatures. The spider is the very first one here. And columns, it's always in a column. That's why it's called columns, not rows. It's always columns, so it's always 3 vertical. But you can swap the jewel pieces, through the cycle to get to where you need them. 3 in a row, across, down, or diagonal at least, and you'll clear those out. A lot of strategy involved in this game if you want to get hardcore about it by, put a certain piece down and you can get that combo and get the next piece down as well. I mean, Tetris, it isn't, but Columns was a good alternative. Like when you're just like, okay, I'm done with Tetris, I need a brain refresher, but still want to do something kind of similar. Well, Columns was your pick for the Genesis anyway. Columns is one of the very few games that when I think about it, I don't think I like it until I play it. And then I end up playing it for a while. I really enjoy it, only when I think about it, I'm just like, it's not that great. And then when I play it, I end up playing it for a while, so it has to be kind of good. See, most games with me are the opposite. I think I really like them, and then I play them, and I don't. Columns 3, I mean, they could have put anything on here, but it's Columns 3. Let's give it a C. Let's check out some Sega CD games. Well, from Namco, we have Starblade's kind of a fun one, a 3D on-rail shooter here. Gives you those 3D graphics. You think it's going to be a little bit like Star Fox, but it plays more like maybe like a Star Wars arcade game. The visuals are what they are. They're set. You are on this rail and you're going along, but you move your cursor, which fires your gun to, shoot down these planes, shoot down these ships, shoot down this stuff. And when I say it's a little bit like Star Wars, man, listen, it's it's fine. Pretty cool to check out, and pretty cool that the Sega CD could do something like this. They have released this game on other platforms too, so maybe you're just like, didn't I play this on the Wii, or maybe I played it on something else? Yeah, maybe you did. Maybe you did. Looking forward to seeing what else comes out on this for the Sega CD. I'll give this game a B. Game called Night Striker from Taito. This is a game I'm not very familiar with at all, I'll be honest with you. And in full disclosure, I'm capturing all these games on my Mister. However, this game wouldn't load for me, so thank you to World of Long Plays for this one. I mean, you can kind of tell just by looking at it. It looks to me like kind of like a Super Thunderblade. Remember Super Thunderblade for the Sega Genesis? Maybe a little bit like that, better with the zooming and all that, thanks to the Sega CD and what it can do. I thought it may be more like a Hyperzone at first, which we had on the Super Nintendo. I mean, it's from Taito, so it's got to be pretty cool at least, but I don't know, it's just cool to see. I'm looking forward to actually playing this. I wouldn't mind playing this for myself. Like Outrun, it gives you the option of which path do you want to go on, where do you want to go. And you may even get transformations along the way too. Very interesting. I wouldn't mind checking this out. I'm glad it's on here. Admittedly, hadn't heard of this game before the announcement, and again, I haven't actually personally played it myself, so not going to give it any scoring on this one because I don't have any hands-on experience. Ninja Warriors, the Sega CD version, is making this collection, and like Night Striker, I couldn't get it to work on my Mister. However, I can show you what it looks like on the Super Nintendo. So this is the Super Nintendo version of the Ninja Warriors. I'm sure it's going to be the Sega CD version or the Mega CD version. I'm not exactly sure how that one plays. But I do like the fact that the Ninja Warriors is actually a pretty fun game, so no matter what version it is, I'm sure it's going to be great. And just for fun, I also added footage of the PC Engine version of Ninja Warriors 2, so going to be like one of these games? I mean, that's what it looks like, at least on the gameplay footage I've seen for Ninja Warriors 4, the Sega CD. And yes, I understand I could have just grabbed footage from someone else's YouTube channel, but I'm going to want to be different here. The surprise game added to this collection is Star Mobile. This is an interesting, unique puzzle game that I've never seen outside of this game. It's a stacking game where you have to stack pieces, but each star has a different weight to it, and you have the scale, and and then below that, you know, the primary scale, you have two other scales too. Now at the very bottom, it shows you the weight of each star, so you have to kind of like match them and mix them up and everything, and you know, weigh them out, because if once that gets too heavy, then they're all going to fall off, and you need to pile up to, you know, what the norm says apparently on this one. What makes this the special edition is this didn't exist for the Sega Genesis. I'm actually showing you footage right now from the TurboGrafx 16 CD version of the game, or maybe the PC Engine CD. So either maybe this game was in development and never got released, or maybe they're just like, oh, you know what, we're actually gonna, you know, port this game over so it plays on the Mega Drive Mini 2. Either way, very cool that they're adding something like this. I wonder what else they could add where it's like, hey, this game never existed before, but if it played on the Sega Genesis, if we had it on the Sega CD, here's what it would be. Very cool, kind of hypnotizing puzzle game. I'll give it a B. And I already covered the first 11 games that came out for the Mega Drive Mini 2, so check out that video if you haven't done so already. I'm looking forward to grabbing this. I'm going to grab the Japanese version if it never comes out in the US. Sega's been slowly rolling out these announcements in batches of games, so when the next one comes up, I'll do another video on it.